Hello guys, hello, what's up? How are you doing? I hope so you're super duper awesome. So let's talk about what we're gonna do today and what's the plan. The plan is to learn this, no, not this. But where's my cursor? My cursor is lost. Okay, not this one. Okay, I mean this one. Nest.js. If you don't know what Nest.js is a backend framework which can help you to create awesome web apps, REST APIs in the backend, right? So we'll be learning this by making a social media website. And we'll be learning this. We'll be learning how to make how to use Nest.js using something cool. So we're gonna make an Instagram clone, but we'll not call it Instagram because it's a clone, right? You need to copy it. And when you copy something, you do not exactly copy it, right? So there will be subtle differences. Okay. So what is the difference? We'll call it pnstagram. So it's not Instagram, it's pnstagram. Pnstagram. And I hope so you'll be using it. Okay, let's get started. First thing first, Nest.js. Okay, so okay, what we are gonna use in the front end, we're gonna use something called React.js. And if you don't know what React.js is, superb. I also don't know what React.js is. Just kidding, I know what it is. The only thing which I don't know is Next.js, which we'll be learning together. See, I don't know it, you don't know it, we both don't know it. That's super awesome. So first, let's start by setting the project up, which we will be doing by opening my favorite terminal app, which is iTerm on Mac OS. Okay, so let's actually make it bigger. I hope so it's visible to you right now. So let's go to desktop. Okay, and let's create a folder, right? Not V, this is right. Don't ask me what does that mean, because I also don't know. See, I love naming folders like this, random names, because this is cool. Okay, so we are making what? We are making Pinstagram, right? So let's call it Pinstagram. Also the spelling is correct. No, oh, that's wrong, right? So let's rename this. Let's call like Instagram. Okay, so let's go inside Instagram and let's create two folders. First is one for the backend and one for the front end, right? From where do you want to start? Let's start with the backend. I think backend is cool, so let's start with backend. So let's first go to the documentation of Next.js, because we want to see how this works, right? Okay, so this is the CLI tool, right? So okay, we need to delete our folder. I think so, maybe, I'm not sure, right? So let's quickly install this thing up, right? Globally, remember, installing it globally is essential. This is the CLI tool for Nest.js. Super duper awesome, right? So yeah, so let's remove this thing up, right? Okay, so now what we can do is I think the tool is called, it's called next new and then project name, right? So we'll say next new, and let's call it Instagram backend, right? So it's gonna do like all its thing to basically help us create our project. Okay, so wait, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so it's gonna do everything. Okay, it is asking me for selecting a package manager, so I'll select pnpm because that's my favorite, because that's awesome, right? That takes less time to rebuild, that takes less time to install the packages. Everything happens in less time, and less time is cool for us. So let's move ahead, let's move forward with this. Okay, so yeah. Okay, the installation failed due to some reason, and it says in case you don't find the what happened. Come on, let's tell me what happened. In case you don't see any error above, consider manually running pnpm install. Okay, I think it's happening due to pnpm. I'm not sure. Package JSON not found. Okay, I mean, what? Is it done? I mean, what? I'm not sure, like whether. Okay, let's try to run it. I mean, we can see the package JSON, and we can try to run it. If it runs properly, that means we have set up everything correctly. Let's make it a little big, man. Okay, so we have one command which is start, nest start, right? We'll be running this command. So pnpm run start, right? So yeah, okay, things are working for us. Things are working for us. Is it a TypeScript version? Because if it is not, I'm not going to use it. Okay, this is TypeScript version, right? So yeah, that's cool. So we can see this. There's something log Nest.js application started. That's cool. Okay, so how can we access this thing up, right? So it's on which port it is running, man. Tell me something, right? So it is on port 3000. Let's go on port 3000, right? Oh, this is working. That's fine. There was error in the console, but there is no error in the app. That means there is no error, right? So that's cool. Okay, so that's fine. And then next thing what we can do is there's something called Fastify. Fastify.io, if you know. So this is very, very cool REST building tool, right? REST server, basically. So we'll be using this instead of what the framework provides by default, right? Uh, yeah, this is the thing, right? Do you need some other? Okay, so let's see what it is. So the folder structure is there's source, and I see a main.js, right? It says nest factory core. I don't know how to add Fastify in Nest.js, right? Because I don't want to use the default thing which Nest.js provides. So it says just do all these things, and this is the app module. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, so hello world in the browser. Okay, that's fine. Then you install this thing up, which is Nest.js platform Fastify, and then okay, you just import Fastify adapter and Nest Fastify application, and then what you do is you say nest factory.create nest Fastify application, then you get the app module. What the is this app module, right? Where is this app module coming from, man? Where is this app module coming from? Come on. Oh, I think we'll get a hint over here. Oh, this is the app module. Oh, it is actually this one, this thing. Okay, so from there the app module is coming. That's cool. Okay, what's next? So we get the app module, we put it over here, and then we say new Fastify adapter, and then we just do this. That's cool. Okay, so we need this, right? So let's very quickly open a new tab and add this. So okay, let's make this smaller. This has gone to a very long. Why is it so big, man? Come on. Everything big is not good. Okay. So pnpm add what was that? You just get away. It's Nest.js platform Fastify. So it's add Nest.js platform Fastify, right? That's cool. Okay, so things are getting added. Okay, that's done. Okay, wait. There was some error. Missing peer webpack 5.0.0 peer dependencies that should be installed. Okay, so yeah, then after this, what do we want? We actually want, if we just place this thing over there and place this thing over there, right? What do we see? We see that what we can do is we can just, I hope so I'm visible, right? So it says that you go there, and that's the core module which we have. Then we have these two modules, right? So uh, so a platform Express and Fastify. We want the Fastify version, and I think what do we want is we want Fastify adapter as well as Nest Fastify application, right? These two things, and their linting is on like top notch, man. Linting is top notch. Nest.js application. So what's that? I think the app is there. Then we use this, and now here we pass a type. So this is like an interface for us. So it's Nest Fastify application, right? And then this is not validated. So okay, this takes two input. First is the app module, and the second one is the new, we create a Fastify application adapter, right? That's cool. And what else do we need to give comma over here? Oh, this is angry. Why this are you angry, man? Quick fix prettier problem. Okay, so prettier thing is quite intense over here. That's cool. Okay, so once we do that, what's next? The next thing is we need to start building our application. We need to plan our application. What all things do we want in the app, right? So we have the backend set up somehow. Let's start with the front end, right? We'll have some base. We'll have some sort of like things with both world. I don't want this folder structure, I believe. Nest.js folder structure, right? And let's go and see folder structure. What's the best folder structure? Man, this is too much. Okay. So what you can have is, or you can have all the authentication stuff over here. Then you can have a common folder which will have constants, decorators, metadata, requests, guards, helpers, exception, all these stuff. Then you can have all the configuration over here, and configuration will be in different folders, right? And then you have all the database stuff over here, right? All your migrations and so. So by the way, database we are using Prisma, so this will not be required most probably. And you have jobs over here, mails, providers. That's cool. So if you see, there are services, there are modules, right? So I think so these will have two different folders, if I'm correct. So how like the thing which is in my head is basically you do not need to go at two different folders for like the same module, right? So if you're using, let's say, if we are on authentication module, we should not be like we should not have a need to go to two different folders for just accessing the same code, right? So if you have controller in one thing, the services in completely different place. That's one idea. I'm not sure that's correct or not. What's the industry standard and something like that. Let's see any Nest.js application which has been developed. Will that help? I'm not sure. Oh, here's the providers. So you make providers that has all the caches, database stuff, then mail stuff, then queue stuff. Okay. So before doing any of these things, let's decide which database are we going to use. In my head, the database which I want to use is basically MySQL. I could have used Postgres, but I think MySQL is already installed on my computer, so yeah, if that makes sense, right? So first thing first, what we'll do is we'll say Prisma Nest.js, right? So Prisma is open source, that's cool. Okay, so what it needs is you need to install Prisma first. So let's try to do that first, I believe. So let's change this branch name. I hate master, it should be main, right? So git branch hyphen m main. Okay, so let's add Prisma to our application. So we'll say npm install Prisma. This is not, we are using pnpm, come on, pnpm install Prisma, right? That will add Prisma to our application. Why is it below? I mean, I don't want it to be here. Come on. What's up with this, man? Come on. Okay, so okay, so okay, we have the Prisma right now. What next? So we say npx Prisma init. Right, there you go. We have the Prisma things, right? So I think this would, okay, we already have it over here. This would create a Prisma folder over here, and that will have the schema, right? So we need to prepare the initial schema, and we need to think of the schema beforehand, right? So let's go to Prisma schema, Prisma schema thing, right? How you define a schema. So this is how you do it. So we have a data source, right, which is this one. So you need to set a provider over here. I mean, I'm a rider provider, right? I mean to say the provider is MySQL in our case. I'm not sure why is it angry. Provider is missing generate client. The line does not validate within a generator. Wait, what? Okay, this is not a generator. That's correct. Why am I putting it in generator? This is not PostgreSQL. It is MySQL, and database URL is should be in .env file. I know that. So we'll see. This added this over here, which is not the correct address, right? Which is not the correct address. Let's remove this crap from top, and let's remove this database URL from here. And next thing what we need to do is we specify the database URL over here. So yeah, how are we going to do that? So let me actually open my SQL workbench over here. Is it running? I mean, by any chance? Yeah, it is, but it did not open. Okay, come on. There you go. That's the MySQL whatever thing. So what we'll do is over here is we'll create a database over here. We'll just give me a second. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is the thing, right? So let's start by actually creating a database. So we'll say create database Instagram, right? Create database Instagram. That's it. You know, we have the Instagram as database right now. There you go. So now what we want to do is we have the Instagram as a database. We have to establish a connection from the Prisma, which we have in our project, to the database, right? So I don't remember this default schema through which I'm not sure. Wait, what is the default database address? MySQL local. Default database URL MySQL. It's like this one. Okay, so JBDC, we don't need that. I think this is okay for us. And yeah, so if you paste that, the local host and then we have this one, so which is, in our case, the database name is Pinstagram, right? So if Instagram is a database, this is the localhost 3361 port. Like, what about the password and all this stuff? This is not correct, man. We want the format, default database format MySQL URL. Uh, hmm. I have it stored somewhere, I'll have to see. So just give me a second, okay? I'll be how do you specify the username and password? I'm sure this is incorrect. We'll think about that later, okay? So let's first create a schema. So first of all, we'll have user schema, same as this one. So we'll have a model which will be user model, right? The user model will have an ID, of course, like that, and we'll have an int. Wait, ID will be int, yeah, and it will be an ID. The default is auto increment, same as what we have there. Then we'll have created at, right? I think created at, it has a tool for that. So this comes at date time, and then default, right? Now, right? Then we can have like a email ID, right? So that will be string, and that should be unique in our case as well, right? And then we'll have a name, similarly string, and yeah, the name could be blank, like it's completely fine, right? So then we'll have a role which will be role. Wait, what is a role? We don't need a role, we'll think about that later on. And we'll have posts, of course, so users could have a lot of posts. So we're thinking, what is this post thing up there? So we're going to create a model for that. So model post right? Every post will have an ID. Let's call it int, right? And let's call it ID, and this will also be auto increment. What is, what are you wanting? Okay, this wouldn't be a comma over here. Same thing, there will not be any comma over here, and there will not be any here. Why is it angry at me? It is angry at me because I think the reason is we don't have a relationship mapped from post, right? So we don't see like this belongs to this user. So if we just say that user like, or author or creator or something like that, it's a user, right? So if it is like, this should be a type user, and we'll have to define a relation over here. So the relation is, so the fields is, I think so, ID. What is author ID, man? Come on. I only want to give a reference with his ID, right? Then, okay. Is it okay? Wait, relationship, and then we specify our fields, okay? And then we say like, okay, you want to make a relationship, so what should be that field name, right? So that field name should be user ID or creator ID or whatever. We can say creator ID, right? By the way, this relation is not used by SQL in any way. I think so. I'm not pretty sure about it, but I think so. This is only used by Prisma. Wait, why are we coming down, man? For no reason. Okay, so we'll say user ID is the field. Creator ID. What should we use? Let's use creator ID. Creator ID, right? It is again string, optional. Why the fuck this was optional? Wait, there's something wrong, man. I think there's a comma required over here. Is there anything which we have forget other than this? So it is like a user, that's correct, right? Then we say this is a form user, and then relationship references, we have ID over here, create ID over here. I don't see anything wrong. Okay. Error passing at a relation of type field creator ID in the model. Hmm. Okay, so it cannot be string. That's correct. This should be an int, right? So because this is an int, right? So you cannot have you cannot create it, right? So yeah, there you go. So we have posts. It should be post, and this will have a many posts. So user could have many posts. So, and I think there's something called, wait, there's something through which you can format your Prisma schema. So, but I don't remember it very well. Prisma schema format, right? Uh, Prisma format, I think that's the thing, but I'm not sure. Prisma format, right? Okay, npx Prisma format. That's cool. Okay, so this should be formatted now. So you know this is all beautiful and well neat and clean, and it's okay, right? That's cool. So this is done. Okay, so we'll have this thing, and now we have to deploy the schema to the to like to the database. And to do that, I think we'll have to generate an initial schema. So Prisma, oh, Prisma migrate. There you go. That's what I need. So you do like okay, and then you see you name it like init. That's the initial schema. Okay. So what you can do is you can say npx Prisma and then dev, right? That's the initial schema. Okay. CLI does not include dev command. Okay, it's npx Prisma dev. Oh, it's migrate dev, right? Name init. That should be migrate, man. Why am I giving the wrong command? migrate, migrate. See, you know what we have left is haunting us because like we haven't provided any URL which we need to. Just I'll be back just in a while, just starting the fan. Okay, so just be with me. I'll be back. So we have the pan up, guys. We have the Prisma schema set up. We haven't deployed it, right? So we are not able to deploy it yet, but we'll deploy it very soon. Okay. So I believe the way this works is uh, we have the local host 3000 in this one. What's the MySQL database URL format? Come on, man! I need a format. That's just like what is this JDBC? Java. I'm not a Java developer. Format with password. That's what I want. That's what we need, right? I think. Okay, it's post one, right? How do you? Oh, this is like okay. So the ID and the password. I think it's at the rate, right? And the password is I think root. and then let's give it like at the rate over here. How do you give at the rate? Right? There you go. This should be the ID and the password. Let's try it up. I'm not sure about it. So, oh, that worked. That worked. Okay, so here's something which we're gonna try. So it's something called Prisma generators. So generators actually generates your DTOs, and if you don't know what DTOs are, DTOs like interfaces, right? So if you have TypeScript, if you have used TypeScript, you need type you need auto completions, right? For your database schemas. So if you want to insert a user, when you click user dot, it should basically give you the options, right? So you get all those through DTOs, and we're gonna implement DTOs in the next thing. Is my fan too loud? Not sure. If it is, I'm really sorry for that. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Let's see how uh, uh, how our tables look. So let's give it a quick refresh. Oh wait, we do not have it deployed, man. We have no tables created. How is this possible? Uh, for some reason, it's just stuck over here. I think it's not going forward. Let's add Prisma client. I think that's the reason. Okay. So we have error pnpm fetch 404. Okay, we do not have a Prisma client such that like that. So let's search for this. Prisma client. So how do you add it? I mean, what's the npm package? It's this one. It's at the rate. So what's the mistake? Okay. So I think we need to try this with at the rate. So we'll can say Prisma. That's I have tried this with npm, right? I think I did some spelling mistake. Prisma, PRIS. Oh, there's a mistake indeed. So we'll just paste this up over here and press enter. That should add. That should add the Prisma client. By the way, we need some generators. So we'll say Prisma generators, right? And once we go to generators, what we can have is we have a lot of generators, right? So I think there will be a very long list of generators over here. Now what we need is Prisma generator Next.js DTO. Yeah, we need this one, and we need to set this thing up. So yeah, how do we install this? Usage. So you do it. Okay. Missing peer webpack 5 MTS loader worms. Let's install it, man. pnpm add webpack. Yep. pnpm install dev dependency, this one, which is Prisma generators for, I think this will automatically put the generator in our schema file. I think so. That's not, I'm pretty sure of, but I think so. Wait, that's 39 megabytes. I mean, what the heck are you downloading on my computer, man? 39 megabytes npm repository, npm file. I mean, npm package. Oh, this changed my okay. And then what you do is you basically say generator Next.js DTO. So you call it generator and you call it nest.js, call it nest.js DTO, right? And then you provide a provider. And then what you do is we basically do a very simple thing. We just put the Prisma. Let's copy this thing up, uh, all parameters are optional. Wait, we do not. Okay, we only need these two parameters. The rest will be, we'll think about them later on, right? So this is the provider. So we have the provider. We need an output, right? So for the output, this is the source generators and nest.js detail. Okay, I hope so this will work. I mean, let's hope so. I mean, let's try to run this migrate npx prisma generate. Okay, do we have all the details created? Let's see. Yeah, man, we can see, you can see all the details are created, and that's so awesome. You would have to make them manually, and that's heck of a work. You can see all these beautiful details created by for ourselves, like pretty awesome. So yeah, we have all the details made. The next thing what we have to do is we have to, okay, I'll just show you something cool, which is npx prisma studio. This is a data explorer, and this is cool. Okay, 404 cannot found. Why do I give like the wrong name? Prisma Studio, right? There you go. That's the Prisma Studio, and I think so. We do not have any data yet, so that's the Prisma Studio, and that's what we'll be using to explore our data, not the MySQL workbench, because that's boring. This is interesting, so we'll be using this one. So yeah, we'll be keeping both of them open right now. So first thing first, user registration, right? So we need to decide on features. We need to decide on what all things do we need, right? And we also need to decide on folder structure. So these are the things which we need to still decide on. But before that, let's set up the environment for our front end, right? So this is the back end. So let's go for front end. Is it running on 3000 port? I don't want it on 3000 port, because my front end would also be running on 3000 port, and I don't want them to conflict each other. So we'll do something about that, right? Fine, app controller app main ds6, right? So it is 3000, right? So I don't want it to be running on 3000. I want it to be running on 4563, something like that. 4563, some random port other than 3000. Let's actually create the front end thing right now. So let's actually remove this front end folder. Let's create like pnpm create reach. So the project name which we want to give is, of course, pnstagram. What happened, man? Pnstagram front end, right? And we want to develop this in React, that too in React TypeScript, right? So we want to develop this in React TypeScript, and we want to use Vite as a framework, right? Because that's damn fast, man. Create React app, that bitch. Now I hate create React app. The reason is, no, I don't hate create React app. That's very slow, man. I don't know what should I say on that. Create React app is cool, but it's slow. It's slow. Then wait. Instagram front end. Okay, that's cool. Let's install stuff. Let's install stuff right now, and yeah, have fun. Okay, so we have things installed right now. So what we'll do is we'll start creating some UI. We'll not focus a lot on UI right now. The target is pretty simple. We want to have like I think Google sign in. Google sign in. Yeah, we'll have Google sign in as well as like email and password sign in for now. So let's see how far we can take this. I hope so it's gonna go through. But first of all, before Google sign in, we want to implement the like usual sign in, which is email ID, password, and like all those stuff, right? So let's start this thing up. So we'll say pnpm dev, which will start the development server at port 5173. That's very unique, right? It doesn't used to start at 5173. Okay. Localhost port 5173. Oh, tell me that's not cool. That's cool. That's cool, right? Okay. So we have both of our server running. I want to open this one as well in my is like in the Visual Studio Code. Wait, like this. Okay. So let's place this as well in the side. So I completely hate the folder structure. Why do we have assets over here? I don't want there. Delete this thing up. We'll have all our images in this this folder, right? It's showing error because we don't have that thing in the. Yeah, so let's actually remove all these things. We do not need any of these. For styling, we'll be using Tailwind CSS. East or west, Tailwind CSS is the best. So we'll be using Tailwind CSS for styling. And yeah, let's remove all these crap from here. And this is the main.tsx. I'm happy with it. This is the index.css. I don't want any of these things. Okay. Let's very quickly set up Tailwind CSS for our application. So we'll say Tailwind CSS installation, right? So this is for what? I'm not pretty sure about it. So we'll call it get started using framework guide. We want to install this on Beat. Okay, we have already done that, so we need to do this one. Let's copy this thing up and install this thing up using. Okay, we do this. So yeah, guys, currently we have all these things. The next thing is we need this. We need to run this one because this will generate two files, which is tailwind config.js and okay, CJS. What's that? That's unique. Things are changing, man. Okay, so then what we need to do is in this thing, if you go to Tailwind, this one, you need to change this content section. You need to do this one, right? So we just copy paste this and do this, and then you add these things in your index.css file, which is this one. So you add these things and you are up and running. So you have to restart your server. I think so, then only things gonna work. So let's quickly do that. npm run dev. Yeah, we have 5173 port up and running. That's very cool. And let's actually move ahead. Okay, so localhost, I think I already had that up and running. Oh, that's cool. We have that up and running, right? So for now, we'll not be focusing a lot on UI. We'll think about it, our UI later on. But let's actually focus on functionalities first, right? Because functionalities are important, right? Okay. So first thing first, what we'll do is we'll be creating the folder structure for this. So the source, there will be components. And then we'll be having something called pages, and then we'll have something called what we can have more. I'm not sure. We can have store because first everybody uses a store. We'll be also using store, and we'll be using Zustan for this. Should we use Zustan or Redux with Redux toolkit? Not sure. What should we use? Should we use Redux? Should we make things complicated? Not sure. Let's use Zustan. I think Zustan will be cool. Right? So let's quickly install the packages which we need. So let's call it the stand, right? Let's add the stand as our global state management solution, right? And let's create one more folder for utilities. We'll be calling it utils, right? So first thing first, we'll create a component and we'll create a page, right? Which we'll calling it login page, login.tsx. We'll let's quickly import and let's call it login page, which will be of type react dot functional component, and will return something like this, right? So we'll call it export default login page, right? Cool. Okay, so we have the login page up and running. We'll create an h1 component. We'll call it this is our login page. This this is our login page, right? That's cool. Okay, this is the login page which we have. Okay, now we have to render this. So for that, rendering that, I think we'll need some routing solutions. For that, we'll be using, of course, we have React Router DOM as, so we'll say pnpm add React Router DOM. And if you've used React Router DOM version 6, there's a lot of changes. This package has changed a lot, man. I don't know you like it or not, but this package has changed a lot. You'll have to agree for that, right? So let's import few stuffs. So from this package, from this React Router DOM. So what do we need? We need we do not have a switch, so we have routes, we have route, we have browser router, right, browser router. And what we can do is over here is we can just say browser router, right, and then we say routes, right, and then we say route, right, and then what you do is you basically specify a path over here, and we'll say at /login we want the element which we want to be rendered is the login page, right? I think this is gonna work. Let's hope for the best. Yeah, we have the login page out there, right? That's cool. We have our routing setup, we have our backend setup, front end setup. Cool. So let's create a login page. Let's see Instagram login page, right? And let's create images. This is how it looks. So we are Instagram, so we'll be copying Instagram, but not like that. We'll have like a little different. So if you see like the background is grayish, so that's what we'll do is we'll say width full height screen bg gray 100, right? So this will be something like this. I think we can go even more darker, like something like 200, right? And now we'll be creating a box in the center, which is not like this. I mean, we'll be creating a box in the center with widths, right? Maybe 2x5, right? And we'll have bg white, right? There's some issue, man. bg white, and let's have some width, man. So let's give like 90 something like this, 96 width. Let's give the height as well, same 96, right? We'll have this box over here, and now what you can do is we can just align the center. How will you do is we'll say flex items center and justify center. We have it over here, and then if you see, this is okay. This like there's another box below this box. We can do that as well. For that, I think we'll have to change the flex direction. let's call it flex row, right? Then you can have this, but with the width will not have height as 96. We'll just put this so that we can see this, right? Okay, this is up. This is not like justify center. The items is like this is not justified. So what we'll do is we will, okay, flux, and then item center. And then what we need is we need another box below this box. So we'll say this. We'll give the class name. We'll give width as same 96 and BG to be white, right? And let's give some height as well. So let's give some like 40 as height, right? And let's give it margin top as something like maybe 10. Yeah. So it's like this is the general format of that UI, whatever it is. Okay. Let's start creating the actual UI. So if you see there's like you have Instagram, so we need to create the logo like that, right? So how will you do that? Create a new design and create logo, right? We can do something fancy, you know. Text. Pnstagram, right? Let's change the font. We don't want this font, you know. We want the Instagram font. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. That's what we need, right? That's what we need. And I'm not sure how can we export this as a SVG. Can we do that even? Like, I don't know. What was that? Best light, right? Best light font. Let's go to Google Fonts. Let's try to find this font up. So we'll call it best. Let's see. Do we see any font which is similar to Instagram? We'll use that. I think this will work. Right. There's some other font is the railway, which way I don't want to use. So I want to use like this one. So maybe the 400 version would work for me. Let's see, what do we have? We have this one over here. So we need the import one, and we'll import this thing up in the index.css file, right? On the top over here. And yeah, there you go. And then what you can do is you can just use this as the custom styling, whatever this is. So let's copy this one from here, not the font family, and we can have a logo over here. So we can say div whatever this is, Pinstagram, right? Pinstagram. And then what we can do is we can just say style and the font family, right? Okay. Man, we have it like, where is my VS Code? It's gone. It's gone, it's gone. Both moved on. La 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 la. La la la. But it gone is gone, we both moved on. Do we have it as we want? We have it as we want, see? So next thing what we need to do is we need to change the font size to something like gigantic, like 34, or maybe more, 56. See, I know this is not looking exactly like Instagram because we are Pinstagram, we are not Instagram, right? That's the difference there. There's a difference, man. There's a difference between Instagram and Instagram. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll just say that this will have a width. We don't want to set it. We don't want to set it this from here. We can do like the class thing, right? And we can set it through the TypeScript thing. So we can say text Excel or to Excel, right? And then you can say that text center, right? So this will 5 Excel. There you go. And then what we can have is you can have like the pot in the padding Y side to be like 5. So you have that Instagram thing over there, right? Next thing what we need is we need 2 text fields. I think so. One for the username, one for the password, right? So one for the username and one for the password. I hope so this is visible to you. Yeah. Okay, so one for the username and one for the password. So let's very quickly wrap that around. So we'll have a div, right? Inside that we'll be having a this thing, and we'll say username, right? There you go. You have one, and we'll have another one. I think that this will be, we do not need this div. Giving extra divs is never helpful. Right? So let's give width full. Same class width. And the overall container would have certain padding, so maybe 10, right? And we then, if that is the case, we do not need this y to be 10. This could be 5 now, so that's fine. Okay, so let's start styling this input box, right? So first is username, second one is the password, right? And let's put some borders around that. So we'll say border. So border, right? Border black, and then we can give a padding x to be 3 and padding y to be 2. This makes sense. Now padding y to be 1. Okay, that looks good. Okay, next thing we'll do the same thing for the password as well. So, right, so let's copy this thing up, paste this over here, and then of course we need some margin by to be like 4, right? So that this looks a little bit better. Does it look similar to Instagram? Actually, border color is not black, so that's the reason this is not looking as interesting as it should be. And I think border width should be like something like 2. Then what we can do is we can just say gray, maybe 200, maybe 500, maybe 300. 300 would be perfect, I think. Yeah, that's perfect. So let's use this as the color of the border. That's cool, right? So we have the username and the password. I'm not sure how the button looks like that we have to see. So it's a blue button, right? And I think the padding is much more in this side. So there's like subtle change which we have to do in the parent. So if you see, like we have padding 5, right? So let's have padding x as 10 and padding y as 5, right? 5, right? And then we can have like even more. We can have it like 12 or something like that. And then we need a button to be there, right? Which should be of blue color. So BG blue, I'm not sure, 200, 300, 300, 400, 600, 700, 700. right? And let's call it what, login. This color looks very bad, man. Okay, so we have this login button over there, and this color looks terrible, right? uh, Custom color in Tailwind CSS. I think this is sky. Okay, we need sky color. Okay, so sky 500. I think so. This is the case, right? Sky 500. Uh, yeah, that's the color. And again, we are modifying this in the wrong place. So we need the width to be full, padding x to be whatever. So let's call it text center, and some padding to be there. That's too much. And margin top, let's give it like 4, or a little more, like 10. Right, there you go. You have the username, password, and login, right? So now the best thing is you do not need this height. This height would be automatically made. What are the cases? I think the bottom margin should be much more this. So I think bottom margin, if we could, this should be 20. Not margin. I mean, margin bottom can be just 10. That looks equal, right? So see, if you look the top and the bottom, they should be equal, right? Then we need the bottom section. This is like the create an account section. So if you see this picture over here, this says don't have a account, sign up. That's what we will be doing, right? Forget password functionality will definitely be having, but I'm not sure right now or not. Let's place that button. We'll think about like how to implement that later on. So class width full, height auto, text right. Left is right, right? No, this is right. Yeah. And let's give like forgot password. Right. That looks so bad. Text SM. Right. Do you have any clue about how does it look properly? Some people have this in the bottom like that. Some people have it like that. Okay. Okay, it's simple forget like that. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll not have forget password, something like that. And what we can have is we can have it as a link. So we can say that this will have a text color of sky. Again, same sky 500. Let's make it darker, like maybe 600, something like that. Okay. And again, this button would have like text as white. I think white makes sense in this case. So we'll have white over there. So we have this Pinterest page with all these information and white text, whatever. Now this bottom section which we have to make. So we'll simply say text center, and the padding will be something like 5, I think. Right, again, we do not need a height now because this will be dynamically controlled, right? So we'll say don't have an account, right? Don't have a account, right? And then we'll say sign up. So the sign up will be inside a span, and we'll say sign up, right? And I think this whole thing will be having the text small, right? And how's this done over here? Okay, the sign up would be, I think so, this color will be the same as what we have there. So we can have text sky 500, which we have above. Now many of you will comment, so hey Jay, I know you can use Tailwind CSS extension. See, I know that, right? I'm just lazy to install that, right? So I don't want to install it because I'm lazy for that. Okay, so there you go. We have the login section done ready, right? So we have our Instagram done. The login section is done, right? Now we need a sign up section, and I think both the sections, the login section and the sign up section, will share the almost the same design, because how things are. So Instagram sign up page, how that looks like this. Instagram, then you take the information and you say like this. It's similar, you know. Okay. So let's create the sign up page now. Okay. So we have the login page up and running, and now we'll be creating the sign up page, signup.tsx, right? And then what we'll do is we'll just say import let sign up page, right? React FC. Right. Why are we selecting the wrong thing? IMR almost sign up page, right? React FC, which is the functional component thing, will return this, right? And we can export export default sign up page. Wait, page. Okay. Yeah, there you go. We have all these things there up and running. We have the sign up page. So for now, what we can do is we can just go sign up page, and we can just link this with our router now. So we'll just copy paste this thing and we'll call it sign up over here, and we'll call it sign up page, right? So it's there, right? Now we have this up there, and yeah, let's link all these to the sign up page, right? So how do you do that? You do that using the link component, right? Or you can also do that using navigator. So we'll be doing this like using navigator, right? So let's call it navigate is equal to use navigate, right? Now you can use this navigate object to go to whatever page which you want. So here in this sign up case, what we'll do is we'll create a single function. So we'll say const go to sign up, right? Right, and this will say navigate dot, okay, navigate to like slash sign up. How's the thing? Sign up, right? That's how we do it. So we have go to sign up, and wherever we want, so if we want this to take us to the sign up page, what we can do is we can simply say that on click go to sign up, right? Wait. Right, so the same thing could be done for the okay, this is the same cap. So one more thing we want to do over here is we want to go to this and say class, and wait, not this one, class name, man, come on. Come on, let me, okay, there's already a class name. Okay, so here what you can do is we can say cursor pointer. Have you watched Aladdin, that movie? You know, from the pointer, I remember that I need the missile to be pointy, right? Because the payload delivery has nothing to do with the shape of the top, whatever. Do you remember that? That I hope so. So let's go to sign up, and we are on the sign up page. Yeah, I'm not sure we are on the sign up page or not. This is not the sign up page, I think so. Wait, are we? Well, it's the wrong spelling, man. So we have the wrong spelling. So that should be this one. Okay. So let's go back. Let's click on sign up. Here we are on the sign up page. Okay, that's cool. So the next thing what we have to do is we have to create the sign up page. It's almost the same style, right? So we'll say class, and we'll copy this thing over here. Why have we named this class something like that? There you go. We have the sign up, right? And this box will also have the same thing, almost the same thing. Let's copy this thing, paste this over here, uh, and let's remove these things. We don't have these things, right? So we do not. What we need? Just a white box. Okay. Yeah, there you go. We have that. We have almost the same similar design. So if you already have something coded, why to code it twice? So what do we need? We need. Let's use the same input box because recycling is good in the programming as well, not for the not only for the environment, right? So that's the username, right? So we have username. We can say name, not username. And we can just copy paste this several times and we can call it name, email, password, and confirm password. The margin is looking terrible, so margin, this shouldn't be margin for at any case. So just to be able to control the spacing from a single place, what I'll do is I'll just place this inside the div, and I can now say that I want the space x to be 2, space y to be 2, right? There you go. We have even spacing between all of them. Cool. Next thing what we need to do is we need to give a sign up button, right? I don't remember how the UI looks like, so let's go and have a reference from the the background is a bit gray, man. Sign up to see photos, videos from your friend. Let's place that message as well. Sign up to give us the access to your data and steal it. That should be the correct message. That's fine. Sign up to see the photos of your friends and family, right? There you go. So let's say class, let's say text again center, right? And let's give it some padding y, some free, something like that, and let's say font bold and text gray, something right. There you go. And next thing what we can have is we can have a big sign up button over there. We'll not have it as a div, we'll have it as a button. So we'll say sign up, right? And I think we can share the same sort of class name for this sign up button as we have it for that, or in a login page, right? So we can have the same thing. Oh, this looks so good. This looks so good, man. Awesome. So we have why is this sing up? This should be sign up, right? It's a spelling mistake over there. So this should be sign up, or we have SIG and sign up, right? There you go. So we have the sign up page as well as the login page ready. So we're quite good at good. So the next thing is we need to connect our application, and for that, for local development, I think we'll have to, for local as well as prod, we need some proxy to be placed so that we do not have to specify the whole URL every time. Or we can use the, if this library, I'm just forgetting this name, Axios. You can set up the Axios and you can tell it this is my default URL. That's what we're gonna do, most probably. So yes, let's actually go on the back end and start preparing for the sign up now, right? So we have Instagram, CEO, photo, something like that. I think in general I don't like the font. This is not my favorite font. My favorite font indeed is the railway, which you saw selected before. Right, so let's actually use that. I think that would increase the, many of you will say, hey Jay, come on, this is not the default font for like it's not the default font for Instagram. Okay, so I know, but this is Instagram, this is not Instagram, right? So we have index.css. Again, we'll hit one more import. Do you think these two imports will make our website slow? I don't think so. If it does, we'll let it know. We'll be knowing it. We'll be running performance benchmarks in the future for sure. And in that index page only, what we can do is we can just give like this. So basically, for everything we want this font. Not for everything, wait. Only for the body. We want this font family, whatever this thing is. Copy this thing up here and paste it. Okay, this thing should give us something like good looking. You can see that these fonts start looking better, right? So yeah, okay, cool. How does it look in mobile phones? That's a very valid question. It looks fine, I believe. You can see this is the XR, iPhone XR. This looks good. Can we go back? Yes, it looks good on iPhone, other phones as well. So it's responsive as well. Now, I didn't make it responsive, but this is responsive. So it's responsive by mistake. It's fine, okay. So yeah, let's forget this responsiveness for now. Okay, so we have this. The next thing is we have to set up the backend API, and let's start doing that now. Okay, so before doing that, let's set up Axios for us in the front end right now. Okay, so let's go to the terminal, and I think this is the front end, right? So let's add Axios. We have to configure Axios to use our backend, which we'll do. So let's go in the utility folder which we had, and let's actually write axios.ts, right? And let's say export default. Okay, let Axios is equal to Axios, right? Let's do some configuration over here. So I don't remember Axios config, right? So these are the configurations which you can do. Okay, but not this one. So this is how you create an instance. Okay, that's how you do it. So let's say create, okay, and then you say base URL, and you say http://localhost. The fact that we don't know our base URL is not good. So let's actually hop into a backend very quickly. This is a backend. This is the backend. This is the front end, right? This is the backend, right? So it's 4563. So 4563 is the should we use like the slash API thing over here? I think so. Let's use slash API, and we'll say timeout 1000 milliseconds, and headers X custom header footer. What? See, headers, we don't want to send the headers now. It depends, like after the authentication we want to send the authentication header along with the Axios request, which we'll be doing after we have like the whole authentication thing set up, right? We cannot do it right away right now. Okay, So let's do not specify the header right now, and let's export this thing up. Let's call it export default exhaust. Why I have a habit of using let, I could have used const over here. There you go, man. We have exhaust set up. So now we can start working in the back end, right? So, okay. Yeah, let's close this up. We'll see how that works later on. But first of all, let me actually see how we can do this. Okay, for 563, I've got to wait. Yeah. So we'll create a new folder and we'll call it providers, right? Provide again. We can not file. We need a new folder called and call it like something like services, and then we can have like a new folder and we can call it something like utils, which will be utility folders. And the providers, let's see how do we create a provider. So we have the module over here, and wait, okay, so we have a service and a module. Okay, and then in the module, okay, nest.js folder structure. See, this is what I was talking about. That's what I want. So you have your enterprise business rules, business logic in the center, right? Then you have use cases, controller, and the web. Like this should be the flow of data, right? So from the device to the controller to the use case to the entities. That's cool. Okay. Can you come over here? Okay. How do you write a? No, I get it, but you know. Oh, I get it, man. But how do you? We could have authentication provider over here. Wait, we could have a new folder. We can call it auth provider, right? And we could have like something like auth.controller.js, right? I think, yeah. Let's hope so. Let's hope so that we have it that way, right? See, I'm not pretty sure that is the correct folder structure, but we will eventually improve it as we proceed through the time, right? So that's the plan. Okay, so hello Prisma, to install Prisma. We have done this. What we are doing, man? Come on. Standard application security fundamentals. Okay, fundamentals, custom providers. Then what we do is you just say custom providers in a list chapter. Import injectable comma. First we define a provider. The injectable decorator marks the cat service class as a provider. Okay. So it's like if we are creating a provider. Okay, this is not the. We do not need a service, man. This will be wrong then. This is not the controller. This should be auth.service.ts because a provider is actually a service according to this. If I am correct over here, right? And then what you need is you need to export a class, and I can call it like auth service. And then what you can do is you can just you could have a decorator, and you can have like an injectable decorator. That's cool. Yeah. And okay, that's cool. Well, let's enable auto format first of all. Format on save, right? Okay. private read only cats. Why are you doing that? I mean, okay, find it has all the kinds of things. So this could have all the functions. So we could have like okay. Then we request, okay, so we can have like a function called create user, right? Uh, and that will be a promise, like which will give you the, let's create some interface. I don't know, is this correct place to create interfaces or not? So uh, let's actually create a folder over here and call it interfaces. I don't know. Let's call it interface, and let's create so we do not need this over here. I'm not sure should this be over here or not. Let's place the interface over here only. I think this belongs to only this, and this will be very specific to this particular service. So let's place it over here, right? So we can say interface create user response, right? And then we can say that this is user ID, right? So we can say, right, we can have user ID. This will be definitely a string, and then we can have like user details, which will be user entity. Let's have it for now, like let it be like that. We'll modify that for sure, right? So we'll have like create user response, right? And then like that's actually a function for now. Wait, why do we have it like that? That's not correct. Okay, so that's async for sure, because yeah, right. And so it is actually, angry at me because I'm not returning that data. Okay, so that's the issue. So now what we need to do is over here is create the user, right? Or we can say sign up the user, right? So how we are going to do this? So step one would be to take user data, right? Then step two would be to take user data. Then step two would be to hash and sort the password. Then step three would be to store things in the database. Step four would be to return things to the user, right? These are steps at which we'll be actually conducting this whole thing. So let's go for the first step, which is take user data, right? So what we can do is, okay, over here we can say user data, which will be of type user data. I'm not sure, like the DTO. Okay, let's go to the user entity. Connect DTO. We don't need a connect DTO. We need like user. I don't think so we can use DTO as like interface. So we need an email ID, which is going to be a string. We need a name, which is also going to be a string. We need a password in plain form, right? So which is also going to be a string. What else do we need to create an account? I think let's actually see it from the fields which we have in the app, right? So if we have like we have name as well. So we need a name as a string, right? We already have placed the name. Okay, we have name, email ID, and password. That's enough. I think these three things are more than enough to basically get us up and going. So once we have that, we can say that we have user data over here. So okay, why are you angry at me? Replace this. Okay. So now what do we need? We need to create this, right? So I'm not sure how to do this. Next.js client but we don't need that. Yeah, it's just client. Okay. Prisma client, it's not right. So how do you do is you just import the Prisma client, then you say this, and then you can say prisma.user.create. Do we okay? How do you use this with? Okay, we actually have to read the documentation a little bit about Prisma engines. What is Prisma engine? Let's read a little bit about this. Okay. Okay. Uh, we just call this, okay, right? So you basically say that this extends Prisma client. Why don't we have Prisma client over here? Wait, we do have it over here. This is the Prisma client, right? So hmm, this is import, right? And we need Prisma client, and we can call it Prisma client over here. Then this implements on module limit, right? And this has a benefit, you know, on module limit. This would give you an function which is asynchronous on on mo on module init, right? And then say await this dot connect. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so then what you can do is you can use this thing over here right now. So yeah, before doing that, let's hash and salt our password. I think that's more important right now at this stage. So let's do that first. Okay, so let's install bcrypt for that. Bcrypt, we'll be using bcrypt to encrypt our password. And you know, the authentication method which we'll be using for this is JWT, this is JSON Web Token. So let's install that as well. So pnpm install JSON Web Token. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So next thing what we'll do is we'll hash and take the user data. So we already have the user data, so this is done. Okay, the next thing is we have to hash the password, right? So let const hash const hashed password, right, is equal to user data dot password, right? And uh, let's actually cut this up, right? And let's call it. Why doesn't it automatically import, man? Come on, it should have, right? Does it need a type definition to be like? I don't think so, right? Uh, Bcrypt. Why doesn't it have any auto completion? Is there something wrong with it? Like, oh, this is too annoying. So we can say generate salt. Wait, I think there's something very fishy. I think this one. If you just resolve this one, is it like okay? No? Okay. So we say bcrypt dot. Oh no. Why is it not doing the auto completion? Come on. For some reason, my auto completion stopped completely. Okay, let's see, the things are good right now, or like bcrypt dot, let's forget it, we don't care it, like okay. So we have the hash password, and we have the, we'll be using asynchronous thing. Okay, so what we can do is we can say let salt is equal to bcrypt dot bcrypt dot generate salt. I'm sorry. Okay, bcrypt dot generate salt, and we want to generate in 12 rounds, right? And we'll say await, right? So we'll have to like okay, try why are we throwing bad request over here? We'll see that, like, we'll see which kind of which kind of request we actually want to do that. First, let's do this one. So there was some issue during creating the user. Then you can say http status, right? Let's say http status dot bad request. Right, there you go. Okay, and you have it now over there. And now what you can do is you can actually we can start doing this, right? So we can say user data dot password is equal to bcrypt dot hash. uh, is it Why, man? I hate bcrypt. Okay, do we have anything else? Bcrypt, bcrypt alternatives. Okay, so okay, we can use directly the crypto, and like this is cool. Okay, okay, this is better. Let's use this one. So import uh, from crypto. Right? What we can do is we can just say um, do we want this synchronous? We don't want this synchronous, right? Because we don't want to block our main at any time. Okay, so we have this. What we can do is we can just generate a salt over there. Mm. So this is like it will generate 10 random bytes, and with using hexadecimal, it will convert it to like some string, which will be a salt. Now we'll say hash is equal to await. I think so. Wait, we'll see. Like, do we have to use await or not? Oh, that's okay. We need to give the password, and then this secretify secret, and then we give the password, which is user data dot password. In our case, we don't want to do that. User data dot password, and then you give the salt, and then you give the rounds. We want to. Okay, why do we give 32? I don't know. And then we say that to string, right? Then again, this is hex. Okay, so now this is actually giving us a callback. Like, is it compulsory that we have a callback for this? Like, I don't want a callback, right? Let's use the sync one. I don't want a callback. I hate a callback. What happened, man? What do you need? Come on. HTTP status. We'll type string. I mean, it's fine, right? Okay, it needs an error and a description. So we can give it the description like there was some issue during creating the user. So we have the hash now finally. I think we'll have to store the salt as well in the database. or not, I'm not sure. Let's not store it, we'll think about that later on. So we'll say comma on comma create user. So we create a user. Do we get a response? That's the question. As you can see, promise resolves into void. So that's pretty strange. And yeah. So hmm. Next, you can write a service that you can use to make database calls for the user and post models from your Prisma schema. Still inside the source dictionary, create a new user using user prisma.ts and add the following code. What's up, guys? What's up? Hmm. Just we'll come after taking water, like water bottle, okay? And then we'll start developing this. We'll create the user creation after that. Okay, bye bye. Okay, guys, we're back again. For the power. Fine. So we have user creation created. Then we create try to call it using the create user response to that. So we have the create user. We need user again. Source. We have to create like not create one. Yes. I think then you okay. You have like the decorator this you have constructor. In the constructor, do you want any class to be used? You check that. Private user service. We actually do know the name of this. Not user service. Yeah. So we have this injected mode, and then we can actually do it with for now, just to find out what this work, it's an array of how do you take request params in this checks? Well, you can actually get this request then check back later. You say request. Yes. Um, to the user, yeah. And I know this relation to yeah. Yes. Sorry, it's not. Then the response. You have anything for the so you can actually specify the video again. So let's say create user video. It's not working, guys. You have to do something. Body. What's the other one? This has to be registered. Can we do that? Can we say create new detail? I'm not sure about your email name. You don't have password. That's no, we don't have password. We don't have password in the US. That's great. Up and running. So now we have run the generator. So run the declare better and release the page. So now it should not contain now. Can even the sort. So if you select it, we need to connect it. So let's take a program. First, we have it created. Now we actually have to call it. Uh, Sorry. So we'll have to see whether we can create a. Before that, we have to actually run the migration. So let's actually run the migration. So let's go migrate. So name I think. Okay, so yeah, we are searching Prisma documentation in Next.js. We have to like we search documentation in documentation. So it's name. So we say added added so it should be done. I believe in the video as well. Yeah. So this should be there. Which user have okay. Ready post created that. Where is the index prisma migrate. Index prisma deploy and migrate deploy. Yes. We have an index deploy. Not here, man. Why is that the case? Let's see on the my second workbench. We still have no tables. That's very weird. Why do we don't have? Spelling might be different. It's wrong spelling. PINSTA, PINSTA, It's does not migrate. Oh, we have it added now. Oh, this database URL was incorrect, man. That we have it over here. You can see. Now we need this one. I think we should actually okay. So the thing is, after changing the schema, you actually have to install a business. Not a good feature. Studio. Now it has password. Yeah. So now let's try to actually create a. Wait, wait. We haven't connected this with our app. So we have we need some way to actually connect this with our. That's there. I think so we need to place this. Yeah. So we need to connect this over here. So what we can see says we need our auth controller and we need our auth service over here. Right? Do we have our okay? Where's this? We'll definitely be having this, but like let's try this out without like the front end right now first. So slash user, right? So we actually have to create a post request to slash user. So we'll go to the Thunder client. I think so. Thunderbird. Let's create a new request. Give http:// localhost. And what's the port at which we are running? Man, I forgot what's the port at which we are running, man. This is okay. Okay. Yes, 4563. 4563/user post request. Let's try to send a post request like which is not valid. let's give 500 internal server error, right? So which is this one. It cannot read property, undefined reading password, right? Let's give a password right now, and right, and let's pass name as J, right? Then email as jtest@gmail.com, and then what else would we have? Password as test pass hash @123, test pass only, right? Um, right, and then what we can have is we have name, email ID, password, and what else? I'm not remembering. I think that's pretty much it. Let's send the request. Unexpected token n at JSON at position 6, bad request. Okay, unexpected token. What's the wrong? What is the mistake that we did? I'm pretty sure this is the error in the token. So it's like unexpected. Okay, so this is a promise, right? And yeah, let's see, do we have the user created, or like is it like user is not created? Of course it will not be, because because this failed, but I don't know where did this failed. Like, was we able to generate the hash? User data hash. It's the error, man. Come on. We hmm. npm run start. Okay. Okay, guys. So what we'll do is let's wrap this up over here, right? And we'll continue this. I'll give you an update of till where like did I reached tomorrow. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So the target is basically to finish off till tomorrow this whole thing, just wrap this whole thing. So we just want to get all these initial hurdles. Once we are on these initial hurdles, we'll be able to gain speed most probably, and do better. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, peace, and bye bye, and good night.